How's it going, guys? And welcome to the greatest gift guide on the internet. I feel like that's fair.
I think that's fair.
That's fair, right? Yeah. I mean, dude, we've got everything. We've got cameras, we've got knives, we've got gear, we've got bags, we've got some clothes, which sounds boring, but actually isn't.
It's wool.
It's wool. I mean, we got a little of everything. I think it's pretty rad. We have so much stuff. I even have a couple notes here, and I never take notes. So this thing's gonna rock. And we're gonna have everything with timestamps. We're gonna have everything with links down in the description. So if you see something you dig, there's gonna be a timestamp and there's gonna be a link down in the description. Follow it around, have a good time, and let's just jump into this thing. It's been a minute since we've sat down together.
Oh boy, it's been a long time.
It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. Jamie's been working himself up, so here we are. And we're gonna kick it off with admittedly, the only thing on the list that I would say maybe is biased.
I would say that's a fair assessment.
But I feel like it's fairly biased, and that is the CIVIVI Yonder. And the reason that I say this is biased, if you don't know, this is mine, and I mean, Jamie and me, Ben, we all kind of worked on it together, but this is our first ever knife design. This is the CIVIVI Yonder, and I think this thing is stellar. And I don't just say that because it's ours. I say it because it really is. I mean, 14C 28N blade. You've got a handful of delectable handle materials. You've got the CIVIVI crossbar lock. I don't think they have an official name for it, but it's the crossbar lock. Two-way reversible pocket clip, and you know, the thing goes for like 58, 56 bucks. It starts right around there. And with some of the holiday sales, which we're gonna get into in just a second, you can get it for even less or get it with a gift. So, CIVIVI Yonder. It should be at the top of everybody's list, in my opinion, and that's not just because it's ours. Yeah. But I am gonna say it because it is ours.
Yeah, admittedly, this is probably the most biased section of this entire show, but you know, it's our show, and we get to do what we want.
Well, and we figured, let's get that out of the way, and then we can just let you guys know the rest of the stuff too, right?
Absolutely.
So on the note of we and CIVIVI, as always, they have amazing models coming out all the time, and one of those ones that really caught my eye recently, oh, it sounds so good, is the Guthie. So this thing is everything you expect from WE. You've got 20 CV blade, you've got the titanium, you've got the carbon fiber, you've got the milled pocket clip, you've got the frame lock. I mean, it's everything that you'd want and more. I like that it's a bigger knife. There's something about WE, they've been hitting the big knives for me. Like, there's been a handful of big knives over the last 12, 18 months from WE that I'm just like, dude, this is it, this is rad. And it's smooth.
Do you want to know what I think WE does the best out of any brand out there? Black titanium.
Oh, agreed.
They do black titanium. I don't know what wizardry they do with coatings on black titanium. Obviously, you can't anodize black titanium, but like there's something that they do with their black titanium with their coating that is just excellent. And this knife has all of that. All of it.
And the way that they do the coating on the black titanium, it gives it like a grip. It gives it a texture almost. That's like it's powdery, but it doesn't feel gross. It feels right. So I'm not a big titanium knife guy, as you guys know, and I like WE's titanium. They're coated titanium for that exact reason, because it gives me a little more purchase. So anyways, this is the Guthie. The thing is awesome. Let's listen to it one more time. It's so smooth. It's so good. The weight of the blade, like, Anyways, Guthie, a little bougie, definitely, but definitely also very nice. Do you want to go with yours or do you want me to go with mine?
It's my turn, isn't it?
Oh, it's your turn. Go for it. Run with it.
All right. I had a funny thing because I was trying to remember like cues to remember the name of this, and I came up with Tyrant Spyro, so it's the Tyro. So this is actually a SNEX design. So if you guys have liked or enjoyed the Vision by SNEX, like that has this super lock on it, super cool. This has a super lock. It's like kind of one of those fidgety locks. I liken it to the likes of like the shark lock.
It's very similar.
It is slightly different.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of which one I like better.
Oh man, it's hard to say. I've carried the shark lock more, so I'm a little biased for the Demco shark lock. But obviously this super lock, it does. It feels very, very similar. And again, it just has that buttery weeness to it.
What?
Though too, right? Which is so good.
Yeah. So if you like the super lock, like if you are a fan of the Vision, like this is right up your alley. It's a little bit blockier. I feel like the Vision's kind of a more pointy type knife, but this is great. It's got all the good WE stuff. Like black coatings are great. It has like this anodized titanium, but like the edges are polished, so you get like these like pops of color along these cool edges and stuff. So really cool WE piece with the super lock. Yeah, it's the what was it, Tyrant Spyro? So it's the Tyro.
Tyro. Man, that never works for me. I'm so impressed that you had that. And then coming in with CIVIVI, I had to show this one off because this caught my eye. This is the CIVIVI HID, H-I-D. It's got a 14C 28N blade, G10 handles, and yeah, it's just big. I think they're calling this like a folding kitchen knife, and for very obvious reasons, right? Like you have plenty of space right here for your hand to go. It's a great chopper. It's got a big old blade on it. Again, I've been gravitating towards big knives recently, big folders, big fixed blades. You're gonna see some of those here in a minute. And yeah, so this is the Civivi HID, and again, spelled H-I-D. Yeah.
Road kitchen knife?
Yeah, Road kitchen knife. Great little knife. And again, I think what it is about WE and their big knives is handle to blade ratio, I really love. And then also just like the ease of open and close. It's just so satisfying.
Thwack.
So yeah. And we also want to say huge thanks to WE and Civivi because they're sponsoring this video and they're a sponsor of the channel. As you guys know, we run on sponsors, and if it wasn't for our sponsors, we can't make stuff. And so here we are making stuff because of WE and Civivi. So thank you, WE and Civivi. And we have some awesome holiday stuff that they've got going on that we're going to get into in a second. But first, we've got a little... We've encountered some automotive stuff recently. Well, recently and not so recently. We thought you guys would dig. And one of them Jamie's really excited about. So I'm going to let him go first on his new toy that he got that he's stoked about.
Can I talk about it now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So there's many different brands and variations of this, but this is the HOTO Air Pump Pro. Let me see if I can
I
get
didn't know it
out
was
here.
the Pro. It's so official.
I don't even, do they have a non-Pro? I don't know. So this is like a little portable compressor for your car tires, and I think it can air up like a full-size car tire. Like it takes a second, right? It's not your giant compressors or whatever.
Yeah, it's not a 50-gallon compressor.
But it's probably going to take you 5 minutes to air up your tire. But it's battery powered. You can set your PSI. You can just let it run. It'll stop when you get to your desired pressure. I think I run mine at about 30 PSI. In case anybody wanted to know that, I don't think anybody did.
Okay.
But and, on the side you got, if you're European, you can go to bar or kilopascals or whatever you want to do there. And then it's USB-C rechargeable.
Yes, everything, USB-C the world, everything. When he originally got it, was opening it up, I was with him, and the cord had USB 2.0 on one side, and he's like, oh, and then the other side was USB-C. So he decided it was good.
This works with everything that you have, like your phone charger, your laptop charger, whatever. So that's a huge plus in my book, being able to universally charge it with everything. Yep. You want to know what's fun about this? If you take this and you take a patch kit, and then you take one of those battery-powered jumpers, like you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like those are like got to be the two most common things that are just going to like stop you dead in your tracks, and like you're good to go. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Yep.
So
100%. And and like with modern cars, like there's not a lot more you can really do on the side of the road, right? Like
yeah, like you need a flat tire, battery's dead. Like, and you can fix those easily if you have the right tools, and this is one of the right tools. So
love it.
I just took this out of the box, so I have to admit I haven't used it yet, but I'm super pumped to put it in my truck.
Okay, he was very excited.
That's it.
And that's from our buddies over at Huckberry. They hooked us up with a ton of gear that you guys are going to see. But the next item is not from Huckberry. This is something I've actually had for a really long time. Jamie recently got one. We were talking about it, and we're like, dude, we need to make sure that people know about this. So I'm trying to see if there's a good way to like present it. Yeah, okay, it's got, oh, hey, there's the name. Okay, boom, BlueDriver. So this is an OBD, there it is.
OBD2.
OBD2. Yeah, sensor reader, and which doesn't sound like a big deal, but if you want to be able to do just like basic maintenance on your car, you have to have a computer. Like that's just a fact. On like almost like OBD2 was introduced in what, like 1996,
96, I think.
Yeah, so anything from 1996 to now, and that's like that's like 30 years ago at this point, right? So probably most of the cars you're driving are going to be OBD2. And you plug this thing into your port, and it comes with a stellar app. And the cool thing about it is you plug it in, and it goes to the app. You got it on the app. It starts diagnosing your car. You can clear codes. It will tell you what's wrong. And this thing literally just saved me like $3 grand. And that's why I wanted to show you guys. So I recently picked up a Honda Element like a year ago, a couple months ago. I don't know, it was a while ago. I picked up a Honda Element, and I knew the transmission on it was eventually going to go. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but Honda Element's kind of notorious for the transmissions going at high mileage. And I only buy high mileage vehicles. And so I was having some issues that I was like, oh, it's the tranny. It's for sure the tranny. There's no question. That's what it is. So I was like, okay, well, before I pull the trigger, I'm going to plug this thing in and see if I need to order any other sensors with it. Turned out it was a $20 sensor. That was it. I fixed a $20 sensor, and I'm now cruising my Honda Element yet again. So
that's cheaper than a transmission rebuild.
A lot cheaper than transmission. So anyways, if you're interested in actually being able to work on your cars, and again, most cars on the road, right? 96 to nowish, right? The OBD2 is the way to go, and the BlueDriver is stellar. I think you can pick them up for like 80 bucks, 90 bucks.
I got mine for 80. They might have been on sale, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah, and there's lots of Black Friday stuff, obviously.
There's
lots of Black Friday stuff. That's why we're not stressing too much on pricing. But yeah, it's absolutely stellar.
Link in the description.
Link in the description for that bad boy. And that brings us to, we've got a couple items we're going to be putting throughout, because I don't know if anybody wants a full section on books. So just a little plug for a book that we've talked about actually on the channel because it inspired the name of our Yonder. And we're talking about cars, we're talking about traveling, and this is the closest we're ever going to get to an autobiography by Louis L'Amour. He's a super famous Western author. I'm not a big fiction guy at all. I've actually never read any of his fiction. This is the only book of his that I've read, and it's The Education of a Wandering Man. He has probably lived one of the most interesting lives out there. I mean, just incredible. Like he was shipwrecked in the South Pacific before World War II. He worked the lumber yards in the Pacific Northwest before all the big trees came down. He was a proper hobo. Like he was riding the rails and finding work, and then he became a prolific author. And this book what's the word I'm looking for? Not chronology. Chronicles. Chronicled? Yeah, there we go. This book chronicles a bunch of his adventures, and specifically it talks about how he was self-educated because he dropped out of school at 15 and he just became a prolific reader. So anyways, Education of a Wandering Man, super recommend it. If you don't read anything else from Louis L'Amour, that's what I would read. Yeah. It's a great book.
If you check out the Yonder release video, there's a paragraph from, is it the afterword or the foreword of that book?
Yeah, the afterword.
It basically goes through it's like a little mini bio in like a paragraph, and it's super interesting. So check that out.
Really fun book to read, and growing up around cowboys, I always saw his books on shelves, and I never read any. So that one, though, it resonated. Okay, cool. So, like we said, there is a ton of sales and deals and everything going on right now. Like, I had to write down a list because I'm not going to remember them all. And we want to make sure you guys know about them because it's a great time to get knives. It's a great time to get gear. So, one of the really easy ones is, our friends over at Axial Knives. This was an exclusive that we did with them. Our friends over at Axial Knives, they are having a 15% off site-wide sale. It should be live by the time you guys are watching this video, and I think it goes to like Cyber Monday. So 15% off all Axial Knives, and there may or may not be some Axial news coming soon. Maybe end of December, beginning of January.
You're just going to put that Zach in the Wild exclusive just back without saying anything else?
Yeah, so I can't tell you too much. I can't tell you too much, but there's some exciting stuff coming very shortly from Axial. Yeah. But if you've been looking to get anything from Axial, they obviously do OTFs. They have some fixed blades, 15% off site-wide, starting now until Cyber Monday-ish, somewhere right around there. Along with that, our good buddies Jack Wolf Knives, they make a lot of awesome modern traditionals, really been digging their stuff, and we'll be doing some work with them here, I think, as well. But they've got 20% off at your favorite dealer. So Jack Wolf does a lot of work through dealers, so 20% off, go to your favorite dealer, and it's not every model, but it's most of the models the dealers have in stock. You're going to be able to get 20% off, and that's going kind of through that Black Friday, Cyber Monday time period. Then we've got WE Knives. One of the big things that WE Knives is doing right now, this is crazy.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second because the mini Praxis has been that has been my okay, if you're going to spend under $30, that is the knife to get.
The knife. Yep.
I don't know, man. They're a little bit different, but they're in a similar category, and this is a little cheaper.
Yeah, so this is actually only at Walmart. So you got to go to your local Walmart to see if they still have any, to see if they got them. CIVIVI'S started being carried at Walmart, which I think is really cool. And this is a Walmart exclusive. And it's you get this knife. They're calling it the Zizzle, if I remember correctly. Yeah. You get the lanyard, and you get the little multi-tool. $25 for the whole deal. So if you're looking just to load up on stuff to give people in stocking stuffers or gifts for friends or employees or coworkers, whatever, boom. I mean, you can't do better.
D2 knife, you got a liner lock that's very reminiscent of the Elementum, the mini Praxis, that type of thing. $25, I don't know. I was saying to Zach before we started shooting, I should have just canned the other stuff and just made it $2 cheaper or something like that.
Just made a $20 knife, and that was the deal, right?
That's a pretty screaming deal. That knife is is awesome for $25.
Really good, which we can expect from we, but it's D2. That's the other thing. Is it's not just pot metal. It's like real. It's like a real blade steel that you would want, right? So anyways, $25. You're just gonna have to go to your local Walmart to see if they've got them, to see if they had them. If they didn't, let them know you want to see it, and maybe they can get them. Also, site-wide for we and Civivi, they're doing 28% off on most of the models on their websites, and they also are doing a little. If you spend over $29, which I mean, again, right, the mini Praxis is under 29. There's not much under 29. You get the little multi-tool, which, I mean, they're handy, they're fun, I like them, and you get the flight tag. So you'll get those for free if you spend over $29 on We Civivi's website. And again, not everything, but a big majority of We and Civivi knives are on sale right now. So anything you've seen on the table, and then on their website.
So not only We Civivi's website too, but that's also dealers. So like,
yeah,
go to your
dealers
favorite
as well.
dealers, they'll have it. They've sent them out all over the place.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Okay, cool. So another big one is CRKT. So CRKT's having a bunch of deals. They're doing free shipping on orders over $50. And then starting Black Friday, they're going to have a CRKT website exclusive carbon fiber CEO. It's like I think it's the compact CEO. Yeah. And that's going to be going for like $80. So it's carbon fiber knife. It's the CEO, which is a stellar knife. I love that knife. And they're going to be going for like $80. The other thing is they just have a ton of deals. Like every day, like every couple days, they're like new add-ons. You can get like a defense key. You can get a pry bar. You can get different shipping deals. So just keep your eye on CRKT.com because they're running tons of deals. Maybe even the dealers are running some of these too, but I know for sure CRKT's website has got a ton of stuff. And like I said, free shipping on any order over $50, which with CRKT, again, like not hard. We've got a whole bunch of CRKT knives we're going to show you guys. I think all of them are over that $50 mark, so that'd be free shipping on those. And then Big Idea Designs. So Big Idea Designs is wild, 20% off site-wide. Every single thing on Big Idea Design is 20% off. And I've got some Big Idea Design stuff to show you that you're going to dig. So 20% off the entire site-wide. Jamie was like, wait, 20% off the whole thing?
The whole site.
The whole site
is wild. So like no coupon code, none of this, just the whole thing.
Yep.
It's just 20% off.
Yeah, it's super rad.
Wild.
So Big Idea Designs, awesome. And then our friends over at Huckberry, they've got a bunch of crazy drops that they're doing between the time you guys are seeing this video and Cyber Monday. Again, that's why we're releasing this video when we are. We're trying to make sure you guys can get all the deals. If you guys are, I don't know, if you're like me, like your wallet's probably stretched a little thin, so it's nice to get some deals right now. And they've got basically 3 batches of deals they're running, up to 40% off on a bunch of just category items throughout the entire website. And we've got some fun Huckberry stuff like that HOTO pump to show you guys. I don't know exactly what's going to be on sale or not on sale. So Huckberry is one. Check it every day between now and Cyber Monday. And if you see something on sale that you want, it will not be on sale when the next thing goes on sale. So it might mean a couple orders from Huckberry, but they've got deals on shipping. They've got a bunch of rad stuff. They're good dudes over there. So Huckberry, tons of rad stuff. Keep your eye on their website. And then, man, there's a lot of deals, dude. And then finally, Jamie gets to talk a little bit because we've got some deals with WorkSharp and with NAFs, some combo stuff and some not combo stuff. So tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, so if you head over to WorkSharp, this is actually on WorkSharp's website only. So no dealers, so head over to worksharptools.com. If you order anything over $99, you will be getting the WorkSharp Field Sharpener. This is their brand new thing. It's super cool. So like if you have used their guided field sharpener, it's like a slimmed down version of that.
Yeah.
So you have angle guides here. Let me hold this still. You have angle guides here. You have a diamond stone here. You have a ceramic stone here. And you basically can sharpen your knife in the field. And it's pocketable with a pocket clip. So that's super cool. It's like an easy thing to just throw in your pocket if you need to touch things up on the go.
And I've been begging them for years to make something like this because they did a collaboration with Benchmade years ago that was ceramic and leather, and I love that thing. I traveled everywhere with it. But now I'm traveling with this because this is definitely a little more handy than the Benchmade one. Yeah. And the pocket clip, I would never put in my pocket, but I would definitely like clip it inside my bag.
It's so small and thin. That's like the width of a pocket knife. Anyway,
exactly.
So you buy anything over $99, you will get this folding field sharpener that just came out. And then if you get up to $180, you will be getting a NAF's Topo bit driver. This is actually an exclusive bit driver. You can only get this Topo pattern on worksharptools.com during this Black Friday deal. So Black Friday weekend, so go check that out. You'll get this with orders over $180. And then if you get all the way to $270, so if you're going for Pro PA or if you're going for
the new Kenyon Elite,
Mark II Elite, you're doing all that, you'll be getting this NAF's Worksharp collaboration Lander 1. So you can see it has the Worksharp logo there engraved on the pocket clip. So if you spend $270, you'll be getting this knife for free. So, you know, if you're going to go get a high-end sharpener from Worksharp, you might as well get a knife to sharpen with it as well.
Well, and it's no secret, the Pro PA is my favorite knife sharpener of all time. The Ken Onion Elite, super rad. I love the power stuff. I love the original Precision Adjust. But the Pro PA, I think, if you want to be half serious about sharpening and you've got a big knife collection with a bunch of different blade sizes and blade steels, I just don't think you can do better than Pro PA, in my opinion. Maybe somebody, whatever. But and that would get you a Lander, which would be pretty sweet.
It would be perfect.
Yeah. And then just finally on deals, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Blade Binge, bladebinge.com. Great dudes over there. It's actually a site where you can go and buy and sell used knives. And I don't know, it's really a great place to go find deals. I'm going to be doing some more stuff with those guys so you guys can see the process on that. But if you're looking for deals or you're looking for a special knife, check out Blade Binge because they kind of like de facto always have deals because they're used knives. And they're guaranteed. It's like not sketchy like eBay or Facebook groups or you know, these forums that people get on. It's like legit awesome stuff. So anyways, Blade Binge is another great place to go.
And last one?
Yeah, last one.
Is this our last one? Okay,
Yes.
and then last one, NAFs. Hey.
Hey,
NAFs.
imagine that, imagine that.
Amazing.
That's where Jamie's been spending a lot of time recently.
just a little bit of time. Okay, so NAFs, it's actually happening right now as this video is out. So kind of Black Friday week. It'll be ending this Sunday after Black Friday. If you order anything over $99.99, you'll get a free tool burrito, which is pretty sick. So like Lander 2, you get a Lander 2, free tool burrito. You get a Lander 3, free tool burrito. You want a Lulu, free tool burrito. It was like every one of those things over basically $100, $99.99 is going to get you a free tool burrito, and that I think is pretty cool. This is my personal one. I keep all of my like kind of sketching stuff in here and knife maintenance stuff. So like I think I have probably like 4 of these. So,
I love it.
These are super handy.
They're super handy.
Not just for knife maintenance, but for like everything maintenance. So if you want a super, I'm holding it upside down. If you want a super cool NAFs tool burrito for free, go check out NAFs during the Black Friday deal. Buy a knife, literally buy anything over $99.99, you get a free tool burrito.
And it's going on right now. And I understand, I don't even have the details on it, but I understand there might be some secret black magic happening on Black Friday itself.
Yes, there will be, but we're not going to tell you that yet.
So
pay attention for Black Friday proper, because there will be some very screaming one-day deals.
For NAFs. And I've seen some of the stuff they do at Blade Show, so there could be some pretty crazy stuff going on Black Friday. Sweet. Okay. Let's jump into a bit of gear, and I'm gonna probably give you what will be one of the strongest recommendations on the table because I have got proof right here. I've got proof in the pudding, and that is you need to pick yourself up a Hitch and Timber pocket tool organizer. Not that one, because that one hasn't left my pocket in what, 2.5 years? We did that video about 2 years ago. Year and a half ago?
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. So we did a video a while ago on pocket organizers. If you're interested in pocket organizers, go check it out because we reviewed basically everything on the market that made sense. And I fell in love with this Hitch and Timber. It has not left my pocket. I think it's been 2 years. Has not left my pocket in 2 years. And I recently just finally got a new one because you know this one's been abused. Other than the things that are in this, which include my my Knipex, my compact, my pen, little things like that, and obviously my cards and cash. I carry those things every single day. I change my knife out very often. This is the only other piece of gear that never leaves my pocket. Every single day, I'm carrying this thing. And yeah, so the Hitch and Timber Pocket Tool Organizer, I'm pretty sure that's the official name. It's super sweet. So you've got some room for tools up front. You've got the zipper pocket down the middle, so you can put whatever you want. Like I said, I use it as a wallet, so obviously cards and cash. And then in the back, you've got a little bit of space here. So I have been carrying a journal back there, but I find I've got to alter the journal, and it doesn't quite work for me that way, so I'm just carrying a lighter and my Knipex in the back. But either way, Hitch and Timber Pocket Tool Organizer. It's freaking awesome. I don't think I can give it a bigger recommendation.
You've worn that canvas so thin, it feels like plastic.
Yeah.
It's wax canvas, but it feels like plastic.
Jamie was like, "Why does this wax canvas feel like plastic?" And I'm like, "Cause I use my stuff, bro." And I was stuck on the road. I didn't have an address for 6 months this year, and so admittedly, this went a little farther than I would have normally let it. But I didn't have an address, so I didn't have a way to get a new one. So I'm home for a bit, and so I was able to get a new one. But yeah, I absolutely love that piece of gear. It's amazing. Sweet. So let's jump into some Big Idea Design. Because not only is everything on their website 20% off, they make rad stuff. And, oh, dude, can we start with the with the one I'm most excited about.
Is it your bag?
Yeah.
The biggest thing on the table?
Yeah, exactly. All right, here comes the big boy. So this is a fairly new product, I believe, from Big Idea Design. It's new to me, at least. And this is the Big Idea Design just EDC bag. I'm sure it has a very official name, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It's 25 liters plus 10, I think is what they say.
Is that the roll top?
Yeah,
portion?
because you got this roll top section up here. And here's the thing. This is my, I'm going to be doing a whole video on EDC bags because I think there needs to be a conversation on EDC backpacks. But the biggest thing for me in an EDC bag, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean right here, is I want a bag that will open up all the way. I want a bag that I'll have full access to the whole compartment because I hate rucksack bags where you can only get through the top and then you just got a bunch of gear granola at the bottom and you're like, well, that sucks because I can't find anything. You're just fishing around, right? So a lot of bags that open up all the way, the big problem is that they're not formed. They don't have hard sides that don't allow the bag to collapse. So when you open them all the way, all your gear falls out, right? But with this Big Idea Design, that is not the case. They really thought this thing through. And it comes with a bunch of dividers inside, so you can divide it up however you want. Obviously, and I love that because, again, if it didn't have the divider here and this space was open, when you opened up, all your stuff would still dump out the front. So they thought about that. And they've got these Velcro designers that you can move around, reorganize. And it's built for EDC guys. That's the other thing that I love, is there's all these little, like, small gear pockets where you can just stash a bunch of different gear. And then another thing that's really important for me for an EDC bag is that it has an adjustable elastic front piece here so that I can put jackets on it, I can put extra gear on it, I can attach things to it. And then that also opens up to a roll top and you have access to all of that business right there as well. So I don't know, dude. It's expandable, it's convenient, it's got, I mean, I haven't even shown you half of the zippers and compartments on this thing. I'm pretty stoked on it. What do you think? You're a bad guy. What do you think?
I mean, it feels like you almost have like a cube system in here, right?
Yeah.
So it's like very reminiscent of like some camera bags, but you can also take this cube system out. So
Completely.
Like if you just want the bag, like
Yep.
a giant compartment, it's still pretty rigid without the cube system.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
I don't know. I think like you want it for a camera bag, it works. You just want it for an everyday bag, it works. Like
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to get more miles on this thing. I'm excited to like position a bunch of gear in the different places so I know where all my little gear pieces are, so I know where things are. It's got like gear holders on the straps as well.
Oh yeah.
Which like a little nerdy, but I don't care. I think it's fun. I'm all about it. Yeah, exactly.
Just put a Yonder in.
Just put a Yonder in there. That's where your Yonder goes. Just put it in your backpack.
That's where the Yonder goes.
So anyways, the Big Idea Design EDC backpack, it is awesome. I'm really digging this thing. It's really well thought out. Most bags aren't, and this one is. So, and right now, it's 20% off on their website.
No way.
All right, what else we got from Big Idea Design?
You have it. No, I have it.
No, you
I
have
it. It's been hiding in here. This is the bit bar. You know what my favorite part about the bit bar is this
The
like
fidgetiness?
spring like
Yes.
action. Like you can just sit here. There's something about this like up and down spring action to get the bits out that's
Yes.
just like satisfied. So like just sitting here and doing this all day is definitely something that I would
It'll
do.
annoy whoever you're sitting next to, but man, it is satisfying.
So you have 8 bits here. I mean, you got your standard Phillips flatheads. You got some Torx bits there, and then squares. Like, do you ever use square heads?
I don't, but that's what it comes with. The nice thing is
These
that
are
they
just standard.
Yeah, these are standard size bits, so you can mix and match however you want. But yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know where I would use a square bit.
It's an
personally.
interesting choice to include square bits in
Yep.
my mind.
Agreed.
But they come with square bits, which
Yep.
is cool. So you would just pop one of these out. You can put it in the tip, so more screwdriver like so.
Yep.
And then you can do the 45-degree angle for some more leverage, which is also kind of cool.
Which I actually really appreciate because the thing with a lot of compact EDC screwdrivers is you really don't have a lot of leverage on a lot of them. Like they're just a little too small. I mean, if you've ever tried to actually use like a lot of the small EDC pry bars, they're not really great at prying much. And admittedly, I'm hard on my stuff and I'm probably trying to pry too much. But I really like to see that angled piece. And it comes with a really nice holder and an extension bit, which is sweet.
So you got this kind of cool little leather holder. It actually has a belt loop as well.
If you wanted to like carry it on your belt. Yep.
I would hesitate to guess that most people are just going to throw this in their pocket.
Yeah, it's not, for me, definitely not a belt accessory, but as far as like an accessory to have in my kit or to have in my EDC kit, for sure, all day.
You have a little accessory case there, and it does come with an extension as well. This is just kind of a standard, this is 1/4 inch extension, so
And that's the other thing I love about this is that it's practical in replacing things. Like you don't have to go to Big Eye and you don't have to buy specialty parts from them. You can go to Harbor Freight, you can go to Home Depot, you can go to whatever, Ace Hardware, and you can get replacements, you can get new things, and you don't have to order everything online, which I really appreciate. Like, because if you're actually using your stuff and you're out and about and you need something, you don't have time to wait for things to come, right? So, I don't know, I really appreciate that about the design.
I can hear the professional guys going, oh, just go get the regular tool, get the real tool. This is not a screwdriver, but this will get you by in a pinch. This is for small things that come up, you have the thing on you, and you just need to get it done right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Well thought out, well designed. And then, of course, we can't talk about Big Idea Design without talking about some pens. And here's the thing. I am not a big fancy pen guy. I'm just not. Never have been. I mean, this is the pen that, what is this, Zebra? Is it even a Zebra? I can't remember. Yeah. It's a Zebra F301. So this is the pen that I rock around with most of the time. I've had some Big Idea Design pens. The last one I had was actually my buddy Pete over at Pete's Pirate Life sent me an early collaboration that he did with Big Eye, and I ran it over with a car. It was copper. I still have it. It just doesn't work because it was copper, and I messed it up. But they make non-copper and brass, and they make titanium ones as well. So this is a pen and pencil set, which I think is actually really neat. And I just forgot the name of the action. It's not rifle.
Bolt action.
Bolt action, thank you, like on a rifle. Both bolt action, so they're very fidgety. So that was a big thing that I was like, yeah, I want something I can play with because I love clicking my clicky pens. And yeah, I think they're really neat. And I also went ahead and got myself this Timascus clip. Not a very blingy guy, but I like the idea of this. They're not crazy expensive on the website. They're on sale right now. They're not crazy expensive on the website, and it's a way to add a little bit of bling without being obnoxious. I'm just not a big Timascus guy. I'm not a big, even like just crazy color guy. But I actually kind of like the pop on the pen. You know what I mean?
Timascus is delightfully gaudy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's a perfect way to explain it.
It's. I always look at it. It's like that's cool, but like. It's kind of gaudy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's but like a grandma's earrings.
Exactly. But I feel like this is just enough splash, you know what I mean? Especially on like this kind of like standard tie color, right? Like the non-anodized tie color. But anyways, so yeah, that's the pen and pencil. And I just gotta show you guys on the pencil because it's just, they're so good at being clever over at Big Eye. So you hit the action to put the pencil tip out, and then there's a little bit of movement left right here, and then you just push, not like that. And then you just push down on that, and that's how your lead comes out. I don't know. I think it's clever. I think it's fun. I think it's well made. It's really smooth. It's really fidgety. And yeah, great little set from Big Idea Designs. Yeah. Links in the description, as it turns out.
Description. You do this. It used to be cards. Nobody clicks on cards.
Yeah, nobody clicks on cards.
Do this.
Link in the description. That's where it's at. Sweet. All right. So Big Idea Design. You know, we're going a little high tech, a little fancy. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's go low tech. Let's go low tech. Let's go to the thing on the table that I don't think Jamie likes very much, but I like, and I think it's cool.
I like how it's like low. It's still like high tech. It's like the bottom of high tech.
Yeah, it's the very bottom of high tech. So this is the Camp Snap. I want to make sure I had the name correct. So this is the Camp Snap screenless digital camera, and this is from our friends over at Huckberry. And here's the thing. The thing charges USB-C. USB-C.
Hey, look at that.
It transfers pictures onto your computer, USB-C. I think it takes up to, I want to say it stores like 900 pictures, 999 pictures.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it stores like a ton of pictures on it. But here's the thing. There's no screen. It's very light. It feels very much like a disposable film camera from back in the day. And it's very simple. There's no focus, there's no nothing. And it's got an automatic flash, or it has, you can select the flash. So you can have it either auto or select it or turn it off. And you have a viewfinder, and that's it. Like, it's super, super simple. But Jamie, why are you maybe hesitant about the old Camp Snap?
Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Basically, anybody's phone that is in your pocket is going to take just as good or better, probably better.
Better, definitely better.
Pictures than this.
Yeah, yeah.
There's pluses and minuses. This is what, $60?
Yeah, it's like $60.
This is $60.
Yeah.
Like the phone in my pocket is $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it costs $1,000.
Yeah,
like, so you have to consider that. Like if you're just looking for something to walk around with and snap a picture in like some decent daylight, like sure. Does it have great dynamic range? No. Does it have great resolution? No. Does it have great like detail and sharpness? No.
Jamie's really selling this thing to you guys.
But it's $60 and it's fun.
It's fun. It's really fun. And it's definitely like the picture quality that you're going to grab out of this thing is definitely like, you know, mid-90s film, like just a snap film camera. Polaroid is another way to think about it. But here's the thing. This is why this is on the list, and this is why this is something that I'm interested in, is that it doesn't require your phone. And I've been on a big kick the last year and a half, where I've been trying to reduce my need for my phone more and more. And for me, I do video stuff for a profession, right? So I do need a phone that can capture high quality images and capture high quality video. But if I'm not in work mode, I really like the idea of strapping on an iWatch and being able to get calls if I have to, a little bit of internet capabilities, popping this thing in my pocket, and I basically got everything I need. You know what I mean? And that's why this is on the table. This is an opportunity to disconnect. This is an opportunity to not have to feel like you have to have your phone on you all the time. Because really, most of us, we don't need to have our phones on us all the time. Like, we don't. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't need to go to surgery at any minute, right? So anyways, Camp Snap. Really do.
And if you're a photographer and you want something that size that's, maybe a little bit better, you have like the RX100, you've got the Ricoh GR3, like you've got some good options. So.
There are a lot of options. Yeah. But for $60, you know what I mean? If you got a kid at home, if you want to just have something fun, if you want to get it for all your buddies and you guys go on a road trip and that's the only cameras you use, like I feel like you could have a lot of fun with that thing. So on the note of disconnecting, there's a very interesting book that I think everybody out there should read. This is called Stolen Focus. And what's the subtitle on this thing? It is Why You Can't Pay Attention and How to Think Deeply. And I don't want to preach to anybody, but I think that there's a bit of an issue with people being distracted, with people being sucked away into their phones. I think we all can feel it. Instagram is very enticing. TikTok's very enticing. I don't do TikTok, but you get the idea. That idea, right? And this book is really interesting because as I've been trying to like tune out of the phone more often, as I've been trying to like tune out of being distracted all of the time, and I found that it's harder than it should be. It feels like it's harder than it should be. And I'm the type of guy that's like, you just got to apply your willpower and go through it. But Jamie has a great quote about willpower and digital technology. What is it, Jamie?
Willpower is for losers.
Exactly. And the fact of the matter is that we're up against forces that are toying with evolution, they're toying with our brains, they're toying with our emotions, literally. And this book breaks it down in a really awesome way. He talks to people that have had a direct hand in building the algorithms that run a lot of our lives, that have built a lot of the apps that run a lot of our lives. And I just think it's a really interesting read. It doesn't mean you have to be a Luddite. It doesn't mean you don't have to like your phone or technology or any of that type of stuff. But I think that it's very enlightening, and I think it's a great place to start if you're looking to disconnect a little bit. Great book. Absolutely great book. Cool. Now we're going to go on to, I don't know, something that I've really enjoyed. You don't have a lot of experience with this. Actually, I think you just barely got introduced to it today. And that is these Paladin bags. So this is a big one. This is a Cloud Chaser Paladin bag. Anyways, so this is a bag that's made in Bend, Oregon. I picked this up I think I was in Bend? I was just outside of Bend at an overland show this summer, doing some stuff with Worksharp. And these guys were our neighbors, got chatting with them. Super cool guys over there, but this is 100% USA made out of a super tough material, which I can't remember the name of, but Jamie might?
It's got a lot of numbers and letters.
Yeah.
It's not an intuitive name. So no, I don't.
Yeah, it's a very technical material. It's a very strong material. You guys can see it's got kind of that webbing function to it. Alpaca bags, right? They use this.
Alpaca makes a lot of the stuff on Paladin also makes a lot of stuff out of Dyneema. So if you've heard of like a lot of those kind of super high-speed tents and stuff. Like Dyneema
exactly.
And
Dyneema is an amazing material, but Dyneema's kryptonite is heat. Like if you get Dyneema, if you're out camping with something that's Dyneema and like a little ember from your fire hits it, it's going to melt right through. Like your Dyneema does not like heat. This is not like that. This is super tough. And the reason that this is on the list is because I found this super invaluable this summer while I was living out of a Tacoma for like taking laundry places, going grocery shopping, like all of the random things that you do on the road that seem so easy when you're at home. This big old stupid bag was super useful. Made in the USA by a bunch of great guys in Bend, Oregon. And can't recommend it enough. And they don't come just that big. You can also, we got a couple bags from them while we were there. You can also go something smaller. So this is my lady's bag. And she really digs it. She uses it for a ton of stuff. She was actually frustrated that I took it because she had stuff in it when I left the house.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's a great little bag. Bunch of strapping options. It's got the zip. It's super tough. It's going to last forever. And you're supporting USA materials. You're supporting USA manufacturing. I think Paladin's a win all the way around. So check them out. Links down in the description.
Can I tell you a 30-second story about Paladin?
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
I went to Blade Show. I came back from Blade Show. Probably 2 months later, I got a text saying, I found your card, and like just started talking to me. I'm like, what is going on? Like, how did this happen? Like, who is this guy? And he's like, yeah, I found, like, you sold me a badge holder, and your card was in it. And so he was trying to like ask me questions about this stuff. I was like, I don't think that was me, dude. So it turns out I talked to the guy at Paladin at the NAFS booth at Blade Show Atlanta.
Yeah.
Gave him my card.
Okay.
He then sold his badge because it was like the last day to this random guy, and we ended up texting and having a nice conversation. I finally actually found like the brand Paladin and like sent it to him and stuff.
That's amazing.
So we had this fun texting conversation for probably like 2 weeks.
I love it. So we both have a connection to Paladin. Yeah. I love it. Super great guys over there. Super great stuff. And while I was on the road, I wasn't able to do much reading, but I did a little bit of reading on the road, and that's where some of these book recommendations are coming from. And I highly recommend The Sound of Water. If you don't know Wallace Stegner, he is an amazing nonfiction writer about the West. And this book is a bunch of his short stories. If you're from the Western United States or spent any real time in the Western United States, this book is just like poetry. It's just the most amazing thing to read. He talks about places that don't exist anymore. He talks about places that have changed immeasurably since he wrote about them, anywhere from the 40s all the way into the 80s. And if you're not from the West, it probably will make you want to come out here. So anyways, great book. Definitely recommend it. Check it out. Sound of Water, Wallace Stegner. Super great guy, super great book. Let's jump into some knives. What do you think?
More knives?
We got some sweet...
We're going to talk about knives on this channel?
Yeah, right? We've got some sweet CRKT stuff to go along with all their awesome Black Friday stuff. You want to go first?
Do I get to go first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
This is the... Oh, let me hold it here. This is the CRKT Q.
Yes.
Did I get that right? Q.
Yes.
I have a slight connection to this knife in that I was talking to Ryan from CRKT. Awesome guy, by the way.
Love Ryan. Ryan, if you're watching, love you, buddy.
Hello. You've had a good chance to talk to Ryan at the CRKT booth. It's great. He showed me this knife, and this was the knife that actually jumped out on the table for me during kind of like that. I think it was Blade Show West is when I was talking to him. But this knife is super cool, super high end. It's a Richard Rogers design. Did I get that? Yeah. And the thing I like about this particular knife is like this like disappearing fuller. So it like fades into the tip. So it's not just like a a hard line there. You get like this kind of fade into the tip, and you get like all the high end stuff, the titanium, and the pocket clips and carbon fiber and all that stuff.
Frame locks and
frame locks. Yeah. It's got pocket clips.
I love it.
So this is actually made in Italy by Lion Steel, which is super cool to see. Something about this knife is the lock bar. I'm a sucker for a good lock bar, and this knife has it, which is kind of interesting because you kind of talk about Lion Steel. You have like the SR lines, and those have pretty stiff lock bars and stuff, but they're super cool knives. So it's cool to see like Lion Steel coming out with like a really nice lock bar.
A nice smooth lock bar. And this is part of that whole program that CRKT's been rolling out, I mean, for the last year or two now, where they're kind of taking these, I mean, CRKT, out of all knife companies, CRKT works with some of the most iconic, legendary designers in the world, literally. I mean, you name an iconic, legendary designer who has changed the course of knife history, chances are CRKT is or has done a design with them. So it's really fun to see them take those designs and then do premium builds, right? Yeah. I mean, this is like a $200 knife, which, right, CRKT $200 knife. If you told me that a couple years ago, I'd be like, I don't know about that, right? But you got Magna Cut blade, made in Italy, and it's a Richard Rogers design. Like, you went all the way around with it.
I mean, yeah, you talk about legends. Like, Richard Rogers has been in the scene for forever, and has iconic designs, so. Love it.
Sweet.
Man, I'm turning into Ben. I keep saying love it. I hate it.
You've been hanging out with Ben too much, dude.
I hate it.
All right, so the next one up is a fun little one. I actually wanted to do this one because I like the name. So the name of this knife is the Padawan. And it's 14C28N blade. You've got your G10 out front. Pretty sure that's G10 on this one. I think it comes in a G10 different flavors.
There might be a G10 and a micarta version.
And a micarta version, yeah. But it's stainless steel frame lock. You got a nice deep carry pocket clip. And it's just a kind of a cool design. I think the knife goes for regularly goes for right around like 70, 80 bucks, something in that range. And I think for a 14C28N knife with a frame lock and a nice design, good pocketability, feels good in hand, I think it's in a great price range. And this is kind of like CRKT bread and butter, right? Like this is the CRKT that I grew up with, with the squid and with the Anso design or not the Anso design, with the
Polar.
The Polar, thank you. with the Pilar. Still to this day, two of my favorite knives, even though I just blanked on the name of the Pilar. But anyways, obviously the Padawan, named obviously after Star Wars. It's the Young Jedis. In my opinion, and Jamie does not care, Star Wars has gone downhill a lot, but I can still very much enjoy the original three. I can enjoy the three prequels. I can enjoy a couple of the shows. But for the most part, I don't even tune in for Star Wars anymore. But still has a special place in my heart.
That knife is also the thumbnail image of our last SHOT Show video.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So anyways, so the Padawan, super rad knife, super great price. And again, all those deals CRKT has going, just keep your eye on what their website, because who knows what you might be able to get or not get with that thing.
Do I get to talk about this?
Yeah, this one's fun. This is an old one, but we had to put it in.
This one has been around for so long.
Yeah.
And I was telling Zach earlier, like, if you want to have a viral, like, TikTok video every, like, 3 years, just, like, open this knife and play with it. Because that's literally every time I see this knife, it's got, like, 20 bajillion views. But this is the CRKT Snap Lock. It's been around for forever. Looks weird, right? Let me show you how it works. So,
yeah, you're going to have the two-handed to show. Yeah, exactly.
On the camera.
Yeah.
But normally you'd be able to do this one-handed, but
to
get this camera-wise. So essentially you just push down and over on this kind of like rolling stud thing, and then rotate the blade and it locks in place right there. And then to close it, you do kind of the reverse. You push down and over, and then it will lock into place like that. So that's the Snap Lock. It got this and the Dactyl, which is a similar type of
similar
CRKT
idea.
knife. Got so much hype back in the day. I think if you still show this online nowadays, people go nuts for it. So CRKT has probably sold 7 trillion of these.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that's an accurate number.
Yeah,
too.
7 trillion. Yeah,
7 trillion.
Just on the fun factor alone. And that's the thing is like, I feel like that's something I'm not seeing a lot in the knife world recently. And that's why I wanted to put this one on the table is it's just fun to have fun knives. Because this is still practical. Like, it locks really well. It's really fun to fidget with once you learn how to do it. Jamie looks awkward because he's trying to do it on camera. I'm trying to do it for camera. So you guys can see it. It's really fun to play with. It's just a different type of locking mechanism. And I don't know. It's just interesting, you know?
Yeah. Like, I am not practiced at it, but like you can get good at this, and this can just be like any other folding knife.
Yep, exactly. Just tons of fidget, fun factor.
And if you pull it out, and people will be like, "Wow, what is that?"
Exactly. That's the other thing. It's got a bit of wow, and I think it goes for like under $100 on CRKT's website. Like it's like fairly reasonably priced as well for what it is.
This pocket clip could use some work. But.
Yeah. The pocket clip, admittedly, the pocket clip on that is probably a little tight, but you know, wear it in, break it in. I think you're buying it more for the mechanism than for the pocket clip, right? And then also with CRKT, we have got the new IBIS. So this is a Burnley design. Again, I mean, like every single knife that we've shown on the table is from somebody that means something in the knife world. So this is a Lucas Burnley design. They had kind of your standard like budget CRKT version. I think was going for like $70. It's very similar to the Padawan in that it stainless steel frame lock, good blade steel. This is part of the fancy versions. So full titanium construction, you've got S35 VN blade, and yeah, I think it's just a good little user. You know what I mean? It's very much Burnley, and it's really light because of the titanium. And I mean, I think it comes in same as that other design. I think it comes in right around 200-ish. So full titanium S35 VN. So I think it's a fair price knife.
Yeah, you can definitely see Burnley's fingerprints all over that thing. Like you can see there's even a lot of like squid in there. Right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, yeah, like especially when you look at the back here. Yeah. Right. Like I see a lot of squid.
There's a lot of squid back
exactly,
there. Which I mean, same designer. Like there's design elements that get borrowed and evolved and all that stuff. So like it's cool to see Burnley doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's super fun. And that's the IBIS. Like I said, there's a budget version of it if you wanted to go budget, or there's a fancy boy version if you wanted to be a fancy boy.
Burnley with birds and fish, man. Birds
I know.
And fish.
It's like a whole thing for him. Yeah, it's great. Actually, this summer I was able to go to his shop and film some stuff with him, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, like being there in the process, like just seeing where he gets his inspiration, and like he's got this room upstairs, and it was a good time. So CRKT works with a ton of amazing designers, and one of those designers is TJ Shwarz. He also has his own line of knives. He has his own company, Shwarz Knives, right?
It's
Shwarz. I always say it wrong. Sorry, TJ. Every time I say it incorrectly, and more importantly, his new knife.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah. This is the LT5 or the Lost Trail 5. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because there's either a video that's out currently on the channel, on the Zach in the Wild channel. Check it out about this knife and the design process around it. Or if not, it's going to be coming soon. So I don't want to give too much away because I was able to get on the phone with TJ. I was able to go through a bunch of the design process. This knife is really cool. But I'll give you some of the fun basics. So it's A2 steel and a rich light handle. Rich light's basically like a paper micarta. That's kind of the way to think about it. Obviously full tang, And this thing is just a bruiser. It's a little bit thinner than you would anticipate with like a big knife, but he did that intentionally because some of the design philosophy behind this was actually the concept of like a machete. He basically was looking to make a trail knife that he could use. He's really big into Jeeps. Jamie actually went overlanding with him a couple years back. He's really big into Jeeps, so he's out in the bush all the time. And he has a machete underneath the seat of his truck, or the seat of his Jeep, so that he can like hack off limbs and stuff that are in the trail. And the idea with this is that it could do the same. So the sum of the design behind the Lost Trail is that you could use it for that. But I just think this thing is amazing. And he doesn't tumble the knives after everything's been cut out and everything. So the back of the spine is a true 90. So you get really good fire striking. And it's just a stellar knife. And the one thing that breaks most fixed blades for me is crappy sheaths, is bad sheaths. I would say that a majority of great fixed blades are ruined by bad sheaths. But you get, this is actually a 1 gauge thicker Kydex sheath than you would normally get. He's got everything set up that you can put tech locks and all that on there. And then it comes with the stainless steel standoff and then this leather bit so that the knife, it's a drop carry because obviously it's a bigger knife, and if you carry that right on your hip, it's going to dig into your ribs. And the really cool thing is TJ's dad's a saddle maker, and these leather pieces actually come out of, his dad makes them, and they actually come out of his saddle making shop, which is really fun. So the LT5, I think it's a great knife.
Oh, I was at Blade Show West. I was like this close to buying one because he had the LT5, but it was like the camo Cerakote one. So he takes it and he Cerakotes it, and then he lasers a camo pattern in, so you get a light and a dark Cerakote.
Yeah.
And it looks chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And I was like this close to getting one.
I love it. I love it. Well, I got one, and I love it.
I'm jealous. I've got 2 other TJ knives.
Yes, that's true.
That. I have a Confidant and I have an Overland.
Yeah, I have an Overland. I don't have a Confidant. But anyways, TJ makes stellar knives. Definitely check out the LT5. I think it's stellar. Check out anything that he does. The other cool thing that he does with a lot of his knives is he has a custom builder on his website. So most of these knives are like custom orders, and you get to choose, handle materials or handle colors. I think you get to even choose some blade finishes, and you get to choose some Kydex finishes as well.
Yeah, so you can choose like down to like the rivets and stuff.
Yeah, the rivets.
You want to do like a black sheath with gold rivets or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you can do that on a site, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Okay, we have a huge haul from our friends over at Huckberry, and we're gonna jump into that. But I got to show you guys one thing really quick because I express my disdain for the current world of Star Wars, and I have to defend now. I don't read fiction ever. I never read fiction. Jamie knows all about this, and I love that he knows all about this. So I never read fiction. I just find that most fiction isn't engaging for me. I'm just a nonfiction guy. But for years, I've dabbled in the lore of Warhammer 40K. Are you ready to get super nerdy, dude?
Oh, yeah.
And I have loved Warhammer 40K lore for a long, long time. And recently, in the last couple years, there's been a ton of lore videos on YouTube, so I've really gotten into it there. I'll never play the game. It's just too many rules. I mean, I'm not a rules guy. And they're like with rulers, and this is how this, and it's crazy expensive to get into. So I wanted to get into Warhammer more, and I was like, okay, what can I do? And there's a trillion Warhammer books, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to try, right? Yeah. So we're going to get real nerdy. Since Star Wars has abandoned me, I had to find a new bastion for my geekdom, and I found it in 40K. So there's an event in 40K called the Horus Heresy, blah, 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 super nerd stuff. I love that I'm actually kind of embarrassed talking about this right now. This is fun for me.
I think you're blushing.
Yeah, this is really fun for me. But I read this first book in the Horus in the Horus Rising series, and I have to admit, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, I read the second one in the series. You could just read this book standalone. You'll get to the end of it. It's fine. It's fun. I read the second one. It wasn't written as well. I think they trade off authors in the way that they do. I think it's called the Black Library or something like that. I think they trade off authors. I love this. I love this so much. I got halfway through the second one while me and Jamie were doing some filming in Italy. I literally threw it in the trash because I just was not enjoying it.
I remember you doing that, actually.
Yes. But the first one, very enjoyable. If you want something that's nerdy, if you want something that's fun, if you want something that's just like filled with testosterone, Warhammer 40K, Horus Rising, highly recommended as a book.
I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I'm currently reading a book about 2 Necrons fighting over thousands and thousands of years.
Oh my gosh, that's deep nerd 40K stuff. I love it.
If you don't know, Necrons are a race?
Yeah, they're a race. Yes.
If you can call it that,
yeah.
They're basically they're not cyborgs, but they had human bodies at once, and then they're robots.
They got tricked into robot bodies.
Basically immortal. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But
well, here's the question: Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's enough to like be like, oh,
yeah,
it's piqued my interest.
It's fun. Yeah.
I can't remember the name for the life of me, but it's literally just like two gruntled old Necrons fighting over thousands of years.
I love it. I love it. So if you feel like Star Wars has abandoned you, dude, go to 40K.
And you want to read one book, like every week for the rest of your life, and not even get anywhere near the entire volume of Warhammer books, then.
Dude, it is crazy the amount of books. Like, it took me months to even figure out, oh, I should start with that one for what I was interested in. Like,
I can just see the retention just like...
yeah, exactly.
Wait, stop. We've got more stuff.
Enough with the boring nerd stuff. Let's look at some of the rad stuff that we got from our buds over at Huckberry, because Huckberry is, I mean, it's a one-stop shop for just everything. I mean, you name it, Huckberry probably has something that fits in that category. They have some amazing series on YouTube. You should check out Dirt on YouTube.
Oh, bro.
I love the Dirt series.
I've been watching those, like, I think I've watched all of them now.
Yes.
They're good.
They
go check out the Huckberry YouTube channel.
Yes.
The Dirt series and their Huckberry Home series are, like, they're super interesting.
Incredible. They are like actually incredible. So highly recommend that. And like I said, they've just got a little bit of everything. And so we reached out to them. They're like, hey, do you guys want to be involved? They're like, yeah, just get on the website and start picking stuff. And we're like, okay.
This is my favorite.
So we wanted to find some stuff that we thought you guys would dig that we would also love, right? And I talked a lot about Nerdcraft just now. So I'm going to let Jamie run with whatever he's got at the top of his pile right here.
Do I get to talk about my wool now?
Oh, dude, Jamie loves this. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Start at the bottom, now we're here?
Yep.
So this is fun because I have actually owned a different version of these. These are the Gray's outdoor slippers, and they have like different height versions. So I actually have like the more shoe version. And I actually really like it, but I use it as basically a slipper.
So you're stepping on it all the time.
So I'm stepping on the back the whole time. So I'm smashing this back down, and it's like it's starting to just smash, and then like it gets caught on your sock and like all that stuff. Like if you're not using it how I'm using it, I'm sure it's got real good applications. But like I'm just using it as like a house slipper to like go to the garage or whatever.
Yep.
So they have these, and these are the low versions. So these are basically just like a slide-ish. Like they've got the full foot slide or whatever. But like you just put your foot in there, and then you don't have to worry about smashing the back of them. So like, I now have 2 pairs of these. That's how much I like them. So now I have the low version, and these are the Gray's, slippers. So they have a bunch of different like versions and colors and stuff. So if you're looking for different height versions, they even have like a puffy like down version if you're looking for a more insulated version. So just check out Gray's generally on Huckberry. There's probably a slipper of some sort for you. This is the wool version, and it's kind of the low version. So if you're looking for more of a slipper.
Well, and I love because the rubber comes up high enough, right? That if there's like little puddles or whatever, we live where it snows, right? Like it's nice because it's not only is it wool, but also like it's effective.
Yeah, you have a rubber sole bottom.
Exactly. So exactly. I also took advantage of the Huckberry stuff, and I grabbed a couple shoes that I thought you guys might dig, and I knew that I would dig. And they've kind of come in a theme because I've got a bit of a theme going here. I'm just going to show you guys these at the same time, but I have to show you why I'm showing you these. These are my Minnetonka. I say it right?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Minnetonka.
Moccasins. And so when we were kids, my mom or grandparents or whoever, almost every year when we were little, we'd get a pair of cowboy boots when we were younger. And when we were really younger, we'd get moccasins. And then recently, in the last, 5, 7 years, my mom kind of like picked the tradition back up, and she started buying me moccasins again. So when I need them for that Christmas, that's what she'll get me for Christmas. These ones are doing just fine. And I love these moccasins. I actually, they're amazing. If you want a good pair of moccasins, there you go. So on the moccasin note, Huckberry had some stuff that was a little more maybe winter appropriate moccasins, and I really dig it. So these are, I've got to remember the brand names on these things because I'm horrible about that. Rhodes. So these are Rhodes, like insulated moccasins. But the thing that I love about these is they got rubber soles on the bottom. And I have actually put quite a few miles on these things already. I've actually been rocking them with, we've been in like where I live, we've been in like the 30s to 50s, depending on the day. And I've been rocking these around without any socks because they are super warm. And I think they look really good and they're really comfy. So I've been digging these a lot in that moccasins category. And then these are super cool. Same idea. You've got a nice gum sole on the bottom. As you can see, I've put some miles on these things as well. And again, brand names Luca. So these are the Luca moccasin shoes, and same deal. And I just love these, like, I love these ones in particular because they look very moccasin and they look very rustic, right? There's an aesthetic to these that I'm really digging, you know? So anyways, so a couple pairs of different types of moccasins that you can get over at Huckberry, and both are very comfortable, very true to size, and getting the job done. I've really been digging them.
If you haven't gathered by now, I like wool.
It's a super material, man.
Specifically merino wool.
Yes.
Specifically merino wool blends. Let me see. Where do I want to start with this? Let me just start with this hat. I'll just knock this out of the way. I've been rocking like a terrible polyester Walmart beanie for like 15 years.
I love it. That's so Jamie. I love it.
So, granted, this is only like 14% wool, but this is a wool beanie. It's Huckberry branded, and I am going to be putting this. I'm going to be replacing my terrible Walmart beanie in my coat. I keep gloves in my right pocket, and I keep a beanie in my left pocket. So this will be going in my left pocket of my Patagonia jacket.
Now, you're from far enough up north. Did you guys call them beanies or toques growing up?
Beanies.
You did call them beanies. Okay.
Toques are the Canadians.
He grew up on the American side, but he's like half Canadian for how close he was.
Okay. So we go with that. This is a wool blend beanie, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about proof for just a second. This shirt right here. This is, as you might, I actually pulled this out of my dirty clothes.
I know, I saw that.
This is not a clean shirt, which is a testament because I wear this shirt all the time. So this is the Proof 72-hour hoodie. It's a kind of like a lightweight hooded, you know, shirt. I got this shirt last year. I've worn this shirt to Italy. I've worn this shirt to Hawaii. I've worn this shirt to Amsterdam. I have worn this shirt probably 2 to 3 times a week for the past year. I love this shirt. It is I think my favorite wool shirt that I've ever put on my body. It's incredibly stretchy. It's, you know, reasonably durable. Wool sometimes tends to have durability issues depending on what it's blended with, so it's like pretty durable. I have been rocking this shirt nonstop. It is literally my favorite long sleeve shirt.
It's an incredible shirt.
I was like, oh hey, we got Huckberry stuff. I'm gonna get some more Proof stuff. So this is my new Proof haul, I guess. So they make kind of a more like thick zip, like front zip sweatshirt.
Dude, and this thing, like, I haven't worn it, but it's so soft.
Yeah.
It's so comfy.
The cool thing about merino, especially if you get like a fine, like, you know, 17, 18, 19 micron merino, like it's super fine. This is actually about 50% merino, which is a decent blend, especially for like a thick sweatshirt.
Yep.
So I'm going to be putting this on and putting this through its paces. I tried it on earlier, and Zach said I look very nice.
He did. This is just a fact. You got to tell your bro sometimes.
So like Proof makes great stuff, so I'm super excited to try this. This one is fun. I actually got this same shirt last year.
Yeah.
I got rid of it, and I'll tell you why. Like the fit, great. Everything, perfect. Put it on my body, great. Wore it, I was like, this shirt rocks. Put it in the wash. It shrank. So this, like, Proof gets fabric from all over the place. So like it's not the same fabric from you know, t-shirt to long sleeve tee to sweatshirt and all that stuff. So like depending on what shirt you get, your fabric can, you know, behave differently, essentially. So I repurchased this, or re-got this
that sounds about
shirt in an extra large. I'm going to throw it in the wash. I'm going to shrink it. It's going to shrink down perfectly, and I'm going to have a pretty awesome Proof blended wool shirt. So these are all super high quality. You know, just because something shrinks a little bit doesn't necessarily mean it's not high quality. It's just the behavior of fabric, and you just need to know that. So if you're getting this Proof, this is actually an athletic cut. They call it performance fit. So athletic cut shirt from Proof. So this is the t-shirt. You can get the kind of the regular fit and the performance fit. But this one, I love athletic fits because I tend to be a little bit broader, and I kind of like a little bit of a taper. So it's cool that this fits nice. It will shrink down to the perfect size, and I'm super pumped to retry this shirt.
I love it. I love it.
So if you're going to get the Proof t-shirt, size up 1.
And we just had Jamie admit that he's an alpha Chad because he's a little bit broader in the shoulders and he likes to taper down a bit.
Ricky needs to throw a Johnny Bravo.
I love it.
Today's your lucky day.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. All right, and then just real quick for you guys, I also grabbed a couple things that, and I've worn all of this stuff quite a bit. Jamie hasn't had a chance to test his stuff as much. But I got this Flint and Tinder 3/4 zip. And this, dude, I really, really dig it. And the big thing with this is it's got the leather elbows. It makes me feel like
so cool.
It makes me feel like a fancy boy.
You need like a wood over-under shotgun, not for anything, just to carry around.
Yeah, like on my shoulder or whatever. Yeah,
break it and then just have it over your shoulder.
Exactly. But no, like this is the thing is, especially around the holidays. I don't know about you guys. I like to dress nice most of the times, but especially around the holidays. You got family stuff, you got Thanksgivings, you got Christmases, and I really think that this Flint and Tinder 3/4 zip, it's sharp. It makes you look really good. And that's kind of the theme that I went with the stuff that I got. I also picked up this blazer. This is a nice, like a really nice wool blazer. Let me see, what's the brand? The Wills blazer. Again, links are all in the description. I've been able to rock this thing a handful of times. I wore it to church. I actually got some compliments at church about it. People were like, oh man, that's a sharp blazer. I'm like, thanks, dude.
Well, it's like dyed really nice, but it looks wool.
Yeah. It's like it's a really nice blazer. It fits really well. If you follow the size guides that they have on the website, that's all I did. I just followed the size guides. I did some measurements. It came out perfect. Like I absolutely liked it. And I tailor a lot of my suit jackets and blazers, and didn't have to tailor this one, which was really nice. And then the other thing that I got that was a bit of a stretch, but I wanted to try it out for you guys and for myself, is this Flint and Tinder waxed vest. And it actually turned out that I've really, really liked it. It gave me a lot of extra pockets. That's one nice thing about the wintertime, is you got more pockets to carry things. I really, really liked it. One thing to note on this is I thought that the collar, because of the way the material on the collar, I thought it would fold down. It doesn't. So it kind of sits up like a puffer, which took me a little bit of getting used to because I'm not like a fancy rich boy ski guy. And so
bro.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get used to, but I'll be honest, I actually really enjoy it. And then of course, right, it's that really famous wax canvas that they do. Huckberry has a ton of awesome wax canvas stuff from Flint and Tinder, and yeah, great little snap vest, and I've really been digging that as well. And oh yeah, and then finally, actually back to shoes. I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to snag some of these because I've got a story about them. While over the summer, the last 6 months, if you didn't know, I was doing a job for WorkSharp, and I literally lived on the road. Drove over 35,000 miles, and I hiked. I actually did the calculations just the other day. I actually hiked over 250 miles in 6 months and drove over 35,000. And I started out the hike in a pair of Thorogood steel-toed work boots that I have, because I don't like to buy things unless I have to buy things, you know. And it turns out I had to buy something because I wore the insoles out of those immediately, and they didn't have enough ankle support. I almost died on a hike in Texas because of it. And I was like, you know, I should probably get some real boots. So I picked up these Danner, what's the name on these again? Mountain 600. I'm so bad with brand names and stuff. So I did a bit of research. I talked to the people at Shields, which I mean, I trust but don't super trust. But I trust Danner. And the reason that I went with the Danner 600s is because they're resolable. And I'm big on like trying to keep my boots as long as I possibly can. And if you can't tell, these things have seen a lot of love, a lot of miles. They've done a lot of work. And when we were like going through the Huckberry stuff, I saw that Huckberry had a pair of Danner Mountain 600s. These are the Gore-Tex version. And this is a Huckberry exclusive, a Huckberry special. And so I can 100% attest to the field testing that I've done on these things. If you need a good pair of hiking boots, all day, this is the way to go. And with all the deals and everything that Huckberry has going, it's as good a place as any to pick yourself up some. And the thing that I like about these is that they have the higher rubber on them than you can see, that are on mine. And you can see, even with that toe here, like I was getting a lot of wear out here on my toes. So I'm interested to see how that will go next year. And you get the rough out on the leather, which makes the leather a lot stronger. So they're very similar to what I was hiking in, but I think probably an upgrade. So I'm excited to get some miles on these things. But as far as the model and everything goes, 100%, this is the way to go. And I think that's everything.
Did we just do it?
This is a long one, guys, and I hope you guys were in for the ride because we had a blast. We had a ton of awesome stuff on the table, and I think at the end of the day, the best gift guide suggestion that I can give to you is, sure, we have a lot of cool stuff, sure, click the links, but really, if it's down to it, spend your money on experiences, right? Like, can we agree on that? I think we can agree on that.
I would agree on that.
We've got a lot of cool stuff, even if it means you can't pick up a Yonder. Spend your money on experiences if that's all the money you've got. Go out, travel, do something rad, and then if you got a little extra, pick up some rad gear for along the road or for at home. And I think that's it, man.
That's it.
Sweet.
We did it.
Well, I hope you guys are having a wonderful one. We've got a bunch more rad videos coming out. I might be able to get Jamie back at the end of December for our favorites of 2024 stuff. We'll see. Let us know in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next one.